much for being here. My name is Heather Bennett. I'm the Student Support Coordinator for WAVA, and I'm happy that you're here. This is the Role of the Learning Coach workshop. So if your learning coach is not available to watch this right now, that's okay. It is being recorded and they can go back and view it. And I always recommend that new students, new families go back and rewatch these anyways once school has started, because a lot of this information kind of goes right over your head, right? It might even feel a little overwhelming because you haven't officially started school. So it's always a good idea to go back once school starts and you start working in the on the lessons and being in the online school. It just ends up making more sense after you've started. So that's why I always recommend that. All right. So what is a learning coach? A learning coach is an organizer. They're a coach and they're an advocate for their student. So we will talk about your role as an organizer and how to build a daily routine, use a scheduling tool, and organize a learning space. So things you have to think about are, what's your family's flow? Are you all a morning family or an afternoon family? Do you have multiple students? Do you have regular appointments or obligations to work around? Do you have younger children to care for? These are all super important, especially, the things that you do after school. You want to make sure to schedule that in so that you don't forget anything. Develop a daily routine. Put your have-to items first. Decide on a start time. You'll be able to decide on your start time officially, especially if you have multiple students, once your class connects are assigned. Until then, it's a really good idea just to log in at the same time every day, just to make sure you know what's happening for the day. Prioritize the courses from challenging to least challenging if that works best for you. Make sure to schedule breaks. And then work in younger siblings' needs. Absolutely. They have, nap times and things like that. So make sure those are all scheduled in, especially when you are considering the harder subjects, to make sure that you are available for those harder subjects, just in case your student needs your help. Finding a good scheduling tool for your family is really important. We have Google Calendar, which is always good because you can color code for each family member. Sticky note calendar is good. Whiteboards. I like using whiteboards with my kids. A daily planner. And then, of course, an app on your phone is helpful. My family uses a calendar, a family calendar, and we have it on all of our phones. And it's very, very helpful to make sure that we all know what's happening. And then you are a coach. So we will talk about reviewing the student schedule, getting materials ready, and then reviewing the learning coach guide. I think it's super important for learning coaches to look at the week ahead that's coming up. I like to look at the full week schedule, and a lot of our families like to print that out and post that so they know what's going on the entire week, and then just go back to the daily schedule so that you're just seeing things one day at a time. That way you are not missing anything. And then, of course, your class connects are always listed under events on this page. And then it's important to gather materials for the week. And again, look at it on a Sunday and start gathering those materials, because life gets very busy. And then you might come up to a day and go, oh no, I don't have the correct materials that my student needs. So it's a good idea to get those in advance. And then also check out advanced prep to further help your student. Maybe there's things that they don't understand, and advanced prep will help you find different ways to teach the lesson. And then, of course, reviewing the Learning Coach Guide. Those are embedded in the curriculum. So once you look at the student's lesson, you can see the Learning Coach information off to the right-hand side. And teachers will go over that in more detail as you work with your teacher. And then you are an advocate. So we will talk about unique learning styles and nurturing a growth mindset. So there, everybody has their different learning style, and maybe it also depends on what you are learning. So it's important to look into that. So just take a look at this slide really quick and just think about what jumps out at you, what might be your learning style, and go ahead and type that in the chat. What do you think your learning style is? I am very visual. I like to see things, and I like it when people do something so that I can watch, and that helps me learn. I've found that if I'm reading how to do something in a book and there's no pictures, I don't pay attention at all. I could read it like 5 times and I have no idea. I just don't really pay attention that way. I like to see it done. Let's see. Oh, I see a lot of people in here are visual. Yeah, and it just kind of depends, right? It depends on the subject. Maybe you're better in math and you can read it and it makes sense, but maybe you're not in language arts, right? All depends. Thanks, everybody. All right, and it's important to have a growth mindset. It's important to nurture that growth mindset. We don't want to be stuck in a fixed mindset, right? Where we're thinking, I'm either good at it or I'm not. And like it says here, when I'm frustrated, I give up. I don't like to be challenged. When I fail, I'm no good. If you succeed, I feel threatened. My abilities determine everything. That is a fixed mindset. We definitely want to be in a growth mindset. We need to grow. We need to grow in our life every single day and just keep trying, right? Just because you don't understand something one day doesn't mean that you give up. You just keep going. And then always ask for help. And this is another good one for learning coaches, the K12 app. This is something that can be downloaded on your phone. It just gets better and better every year. What I love about the K12 app, and I'm just going to go through these screens and you can just take a look at them, and it just tells you how to download it. But what I love about the K12 app is you can really stay up to date on what your student is doing in school. You can check lessons and progress. You can see what classes there are. And you can view this, the home page, you can view it by multiple student view or single student view. And then when you're first getting started in school, you're a new student and you want to make sure that you're ready to go, they have a getting started checklist right on the K12 app. So it has important things like making sure your computer is set up and ready to go for K12. Um, it can show you how to complete your online lessons, understanding your schedule. All sorts of information is on here, and you can just go through it right on the phone. But this is my favorite right here. You can check progress, schedule, and attendance on here. It's super important to check your time zone though, because sometimes when it's downloaded, it will be the wrong time zone. So you just got to make sure it's under Pacific time zone. And then you can check what classes your student has, what lessons they need to complete, the progress they're making. So it's very quick. That way, learning coaches at the end of your long work day or your long school day with your students, you don't have to log into the Learning Coach account on your laptop. You can just do it quickly over your phone anytime. So lots of great information on here. So your week at a glance. Monday we had orientation. Yesterday we had our best practices workshop. Today we had our role of the learning coach workshop, which is right now. Tomorrow is navigation, where we'll just open up the online school and just kind of start clicking through and you can see what all is in there. And then Friday we have our Q&A session. So if there are any questions that have not been answered so far, you can come to that session and Kathy and I will answer your questions. And then, of course, don't forget that you have your online learning course to complete. You can find that under the courses tab of your student account. And it's just about 4 lessons, and you just go through, and it's a lot of great information to help you be successful this school year. And that is the end of our workshop. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'm just going to turn off the recording